I'm going to share my screen.
It's all good.
And we are recording. Okay. So thank you guys for joining us. If you have any questions, Vic is going to monitor the chat. My name is Tatiana. I'm one of the education managers, and I'm going to be discussing the Capital Explorer Fund. And bear with me as okay, there it goes. So Capital Explorer Fund 101. So I'm going to go through our agenda, and then me and Megan are going to do our intros, and then I'm going to dive right in, okay? Let me move us out the way. Okay, so we're going to start with introductions. We're going to go through the requirements of the Capital Explorer Fund, what type of funding, what funding looks like, the responsibilities of you, the scholars, the application process. We're going to hear from a scholar, and then we're going to do some questions and wrap-ups, and then Megan will take over, okay? So Megan, we're going to start with you.
Oh, all right. Hi, folks. I'm Megan. As Tati said, we're both education managers with the club. We both joined about 2 months ago. A little bit about my background. I received my bachelor's in fine arts from the Maryland Institute College of Art. As a fine art major, art ed minor, and I was a photo concentrator, so a little bit of everything. I got my master's from University of Maryland in education policy almost 2 years ago. And next week, Tati and I will be attending the National College Attainment Networks Conference in Dallas, which we say that because if you folks ever have interest in attending a conference being something that gathers folks together that are in the same field, typically within an association or an organization, to all discuss current events and gather to network, a really good professional development opportunity to learn more about the field and meet more people that are involved in what you're interested in as well. The Capital Explorer Fund can help to fund projects like that.
Thank you, Megan. And I'm going to take a breath. Okay, so hello, everyone. My name is Tatiana. I'm a 2014 Rubenstein alumni. And I studied abroad during my school semesters, which was fall 2015 and the summer of 2017. For the summer, I received a grant from my school, so I was fortunate. And I believe that traveling the world opens your mind and heart to the opportunities that are available. And then a brief explanation of my pictures. So this one in the corner, I was in Chefchaouen, which is a small city in Morocco. It's a city that's all painted blue. And then the bottom two, as you guys can see, I went to Paris, interesting experience. And I also visited Liverpool while I was in the UK. So that was fun. And let's get started. Okay, so what is the Capital Explorer Fund? So the Capital Explorer Fund is a unique opportunity for David Rubenstein / Economic Club Scholarship recipients who desire to complete an internship, a research project, volunteer program, or a similar opportunity that'll advance the scholar's academic and professional growth during their college education. And the grant is typically $2,000, okay? And then as you guys can see, we're going to hear from Janaya. She's going to be our scholar that's going to talk about her experience this past summer. So just stay tuned for that. So the requirements. So all of you already have the basic requirement. You've received the David M. Rubenstein Economic Club Scholarship, and you must be enrolled in an undergraduate institution at the time of your application, and you have to have completed 30 credit hours at the time of your application, okay? So project description. So your projects can be local, national, or international. Historically, most projects have happened in the summer, but don't let that stop you from submitting proposals during different breaks during the school year. But just note that this project or excursion can't happen during the school year. It has to be during a winter break, your spring break, or like an intersession where you're not in school during the semester, okay? The application process. So the application is available online. We're going to drop it in the chat. And when we send out this slideshow, it'll also be a link on there that you can click. Applicants must submit a project proposal, a personal statement, budget, and a current college transcript. And all of those things you'll upload to the application, which is online. And then ECW staff, which is me, will work closely to ensure that your application is complete And then members of the education committee will review the applications. So funding, what can this cover? So we're looking at airfare, housing, transportation, registration fees for the program or for the conference, food, excursions, and project materials. Acceptable projects include service learning trips, conferences and summits, unpaid internships, and research programs. So the costs that aren't covered are like your clothing, during semester opportunities, and personal excursions. So let's say you decide you go to Paris for a service learning trip, or you go to a country for a service learning trip, and you decide you want to extend your stay. Your Capital Explorer Fund funding will not cover the extended stay. We will only be covering the stay while you're there doing the project, okay? So just keep that in mind. So your responsibilities. So after each trip has been completed, we ask that you submit a financial report summarizing your expenses. You share a summary, and it includes like your achievements, the things you learned, and how it's going to help you with your future goals. And you must provide 10 photos with captions, and then a short video kind of just recapping your pictures and your experience and sharing maybe like something special that happened while you were there. Okay. So the application process. So just looking at this table, if your project is between these months, September through December, May 15th would be a good deadline to hold yourself to try and get that application in so we can get it processed and make sure we have everything that we need. And even though these are kind of like the deadlines that we have, applications are accepted year round. So if you have something you know you want to do for the summer and you're preparing for it now, let's get that application rolling. Like, let's get the ball going. There's no like, you can't submit it early, okay? And now we're going to hear from Janaya. So Janaya used her Capital Explorer funding to intern with an alumni, Milagros de Souza, at her company, The Clothing Library. Okay, now let me click play.
Hello, everyone. My name is Janaya Charity. I'm a sophomore economics major at Spelman College from Washington, D.C. I would like to start by saying that I am so grateful for the Economics Club. Since I joined the Scholars to Leaders programs 2 years ago, I've been awarded with so many opportunities and an immense network full of peers and mentors. This summer, the Economics Club allowed me to work with Milagros de Souza as a fashion merchandising intern with her company, The Clothing Library, a clothing rental company. As the fashion merchandising intern, I learned how to connect with vendors, organize inventory, trend forecast, and in addition to those hard skills, I also learned a lot of soft skills. I'm so grateful for the Economics Club because not only did they put me into contact with Milagros, but they also funded my internship. Without the Economics Club and the Capital Explorer Fund, I would not have been able to have this amazing opportunity. Thank you so much, and I will take all these lessons with me for the rest of my professional career.
All right.
Hello,
Wait.
everyone.
Okay, we did that. Okay. So now, in the chat, thank you, Vic. In the chat, you guys are going to see the application. And if there are any questions that you have that I didn't answer, you can check out the FAQs, or you can shoot me an email and I'll be able to answer them that way. Or you can put them in the chat now or come off mute if there are any things I didn't cover. Give you guys a few minutes and I'm going to stop sharing.
Can I ask a question? I'm just curious if anyone on the call has received the Capital Explorer Fund before. No. Cool. Yeah, and it's also, I encourage you to think of it not as a one-time thing. So you could apply for it every year that you meet the requirements. So you can apply multiple times for this fund.
How soon after submission are we notified? Okay, so once I receive your application, I kind of compile it together and make sure that I have all the moving pieces, and then I'll reach out to kind of just go over it with you. And if there are any other questions before I push it forward to Victoria and the education committee. And the study abroad doesn't have to include a service project at all. It can just be you going to take classes in another country. It can literally be whatever you want to do that furthers your professional and personal growth.
And just to add to what Tati shared, sometimes the response time is fairly short. So sometimes the response time could be 2 weeks, but sometimes because of the frequency that the Ed Committee meets, it is a little bit longer. But the suggested deadlines are associated with our Ed Committee meetings. So if you apply around those deadline times, generally the turnaround time is pretty quick.
Was there anything else, Tati, that you or Vic wanted to share as well, or any other questions from folks?
I think we're good. And just, yeah, your study abroad doesn't have to be, or the service project doesn't have to be abroad, just to be clear. And study abroad, they have your schools or universities will have study abroad projects that aren't related to service at all. And it wouldn't take a full semester. So like when I went to London in the summer, it was only for 3 weeks. And I received a school grant for that. But yeah, just kind of give some context. All right, I'm going to stop sharing now.
Sorry, y'all, one sec.
Well, Megan gets that shared. I also just want to share some of the cool ways that people have used Capital Explorer Fund in the past is like engineering students have gone to the National Society of Black Engineers conference where they have a job fair and have gone to create, to get their resume spread out and try to get a job that way. So lots of opportunities and different ways you could use this.
Thank you, Vic. Okay, so talking about the internships that we have so far. So for those, has anybody here participated in an internship through the Economic Club before? No? Okay. So a bit of background. Oh, sorry. There you go. So a bit of background. The internship program lasts from the end of May to the beginning of August / late July, depending on the organization. All opportunities are paid opportunities, and if the organization itself is not a paid opportunity, we strongly encourage you to apply to the Capital Explorer Fund to fund your internship opportunities. And all of the internship opportunities, or I should say about 85% of our internship opportunities are member-based organizations that the internships have been connected and offered to scholars through members of the Economic Club. So with that bit of background, okay. So Vic and I are continuing to work on acquiring internship, what we call as host organizations for 2024. So this is just a snapshot of some of the ones that we've already confirmed, and some folks that we are still in the steps that will be participating but have not given us defined roles yet. But we did want to be able to share with some of y'all what we do have so that you can get a head start. So far, we do have Invariant, which is a government relations-based consulting company. They currently have about 16 slots available. And keep in mind, these slots are not just specific for scholars, but they are open to the general public. We also have Tellurian, which is a energy and fuel-based organization. They'll have about 1 to 2 slots available. Marcus Partners, about 3 to 6 slots available, and they work in real estate and property management. And GDIT, General Dynamics, is a tech-based organization. And as a massive organization, the number of their slots do vary and vary by region. So we will have some that are available in DC directly, some that are a bit further into Maryland and Virginia. So there's a bit of wiggle room with that one. So going into Invariant, they have roles available in government relations, communications/public affairs, and operations. Operations would also include human resources. Invariant would be based within DC, and at the moment would be a hybrid opportunity, meaning part-time in office, part-time remote. Requirements for the internships generally, they would prefer that an applicant has 1 to 2 prior internship experiences, but this is not a hard requirement, simply a preference. Interns, when applying, would have to submit a resume, a cover letter, and a professional reference to apply. So a professional reference could be a previous employer, or that could be a professor as well. And oh, yes, thank you, Vic. We'll share these slides as well after the meeting. And just to also put out there, if you are interested in applying for internship opportunities, and you would like one of us to take a look at your resume or your cover letter to give you feedback, we are available and more than happy to do so. So please feel free to email us as well. And upon being hired, interns would have to sign a non-disclosure agreement, which essentially, in a nutshell, is that things that are discussed within like client personal information would not be shared outside of your job. And once you leave the job, you would not share that information publicly on LinkedIn or share with other organizations that you may come to work with afterwards. Invariant's application is launching in early March with a submission deadline of mid-May. So within their roles, government relations job duties would include writing memos, meeting with high-level officials, doing research projects, and listening into events to summarize what happened in the events to then report out. Communications and public affairs would have interns would be placed with about 3 to 4 client accounts and do reporting research, compile press clips, social media and analytics, and help with events. Operations would work in human resources and office management. They would help facilitate employee engagement, diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, events and client meetings, fundraisers, and member engagement. Okay. Our next opportunity would be—
Wait. Megan, can I ask a question? I'm just curious for the people who are on the call, can you put in the chat what's your area of study, or what kind of internship you might be interested in?
Oh, yes. We are, as in ask for the folks on the call to put what their interests are.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Communications, biology, public relations, neuroscience. Cool. Sweet.
So we do have some common themes.
Yeah, there's some good ones here. Okay, cool. I just wanted to check. Thank you.
Okay. So with Tellurian, we have government relations and communication and operations based roles. Their government relation roles would be more energy focused. With this role, we asked, or to Lorian asked that applicants they prefer a 3.0 GPA or higher, but they are open to all majors and levels of experience. This would be a fully in-person opportunity with their applications launching January 1st, and they would have what is called a rolling close date, meaning they're taking in applications until the position is filled with no set formal deadline. And similar to the prior experience, interns would be writing memos, doing research projects, and listening into events to summarize. Marcus Partners is a real estate-based organization in DC, and this would be an on-site opportunity. Requirements for this role: they're open to all majors and levels of experience, regardless if it's your first internship or your fifth. Applications will launch at the end of this October with a deadline of December 1st. In this role, you would be using Microsoft Suite a lot, so that includes Outlook, Microsoft Word, Excel. And as a little FYI, if you do have a DC Public Library card, you can get LinkedIn Learning for free to brush up on your Microsoft Suite skills. Again, these are real estate-based positions, so you would be working in acquisition and asset management, construction, development, property management strategies, and you would also learn the legal side of real estate. With Marcus Partners, they described it as a all-encompassing, you get to learn a bit of everything and go a bit of everywhere sort of opportunity. Our next would be with General Dynamics, or GDIT, which is based in the DMV. As we said, this is one of those opportunities that is a little bit everywhere, so it depends specifically on the role you're applying for, and that this is a hybrid opportunity, which may vary, again, depending on the role. So GDIT is looking for undergrads who have relevant coursework to the role, ideally rising seniors, or those who are about to graduate, recent graduates. This is another rolling application process, but students can begin applying in the fall. And please reach out to me at my email listed before applying. All internships, again, are paid opportunities. With this, it would vary. The pay band would vary by the technical skill of the role. So again, very tech-heavy, cybersecurity, data analytics, software development. They also offer marketing and communications, human resources, business analysis. So a very diverse opportunity, depending on where you would like to go. Organizations that we have that are participating but do not have defined roles yet: Bank of America, CBRE, which Vic, I believe you mentioned CBRE is a bit also real estate focused. George Washington Hospital, Sasha Bruce Youth Works, Executive Leadership Council, and Fair Chance, which is a policy and advocacy nonprofit.
And I would
go ahead.
So for the larger companies that we're working with, so for example, George Washington University Hospital, last year they hosted 5 interns, and we were able to find experiences within the hospital that met the needs of our interns. So for example, we had a student who was studying physical therapy, another student who was studying data science, and we were able to find places within the hospital for them. So if you're interested, I see, Maria, you have biology and neuroscience. We can try this year to get you a spot at the hospital that's in that area if you reach out early. So if you're interested, being in touch with Megan early will help us be able to find the spots. Sasha Bruce, similarly, they're just a giant network of direct client service providers. And so they serve unhoused youth and have different centers all over the city. So if that's more your thing, we're able to find, again, we can kind of ask for the slots that we want.
Absolutely. Thank you, Vic. And to also be clear, this is what we have currently going over the next few months. Vic and I are still working on our recruiting efforts, and we'll be bringing in a lot more organizations to participate as well. So this is not the finish line, it's just the beginning. And So some next steps. We do have the Build Your Brand event, which will be taking place January 4th. And we strongly encourage all scholars, especially if you're interested in the internship program, to participate. It'll be an in-person networking event amongst scholars, alumni, and members that will be participating in the internship program. So it'll really give you the opportunity to network with those members, other scholars, and give you the opportunity to refresh your resume, practice your elevator pitch, and some of those hard and soft skills that will help you succeed in getting your next internship opportunity. Info sessions that we have this fall are also focusing on those skills that will help you succeed in landing your next internship. We actually have one October 19th with Brittany Masalasalo from HP discussing LinkedIn and optimizing your connections within networking. And those will continue to be notified via email for November and December as well. Our internship application will launch January 15th with more details to follow. And during the internship, all interns will participate in a 3-day orientation, which we're aiming to have take place at the end of May, lunch and learns throughout the summer, and a capstone presentation at the end of your internship, giving you an opportunity to present on your experience, and it'll help you practice your public speaking and your elevator pitch. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Just to clarify one thing, Megan, if you go back to the slide before this.
Sure.
So we say that our app will launch on the 15th, but you should also know that some of these, like Megan stated previously, there's rolling applications for some of these opportunities. The sooner you get your app in, the better. So for example, GDIT is a very competitive program. They're currently accepting applications. So if you're interested in those, don't wait till January 15th, and we'll be sharing those on a rolling basis. The January 15th launch is really mostly about our programs that are our standard partners who are building out spots just for our students. But we're sharing lots of internship opportunities this year for people to join the programs at these companies. So they have much earlier application deadlines, but just wanted to be clear.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much for jumping in on that. And again, if you are interested in any of these opportunities, please email me so that we can help to connect you to get your foot in the door with those opportunities. And again, there's my email, even if it's just questions or comments as well. And as Vic had mentioned, these slides will go out to everybody after the meeting too. Does anybody have any additional questions about the Capital Explorer Fund or about the internship program? Okay. And again, Tati, do you want to put your email in the chat just in case, or maybe you already had, in case anybody needs it? All right, well, Vic, Tati, did you have any other? No. Okay. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining. And again, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, okay?
Thank you guys for coming. Have a good
Thank you.
one.
Bye, guys.